The lesson for today is conservation of total mechanical energy. Learning goal will learn how to apply basically the total energy before and total energy after. They must equal to each other. That's the conservation of total mechanical energy, and that represents in physics 11 context. We'll deal with falling objects, ramps problems, upward motion, and roller coaster style problems. Now, total mechanical energy is the sum of kinetic energy and right here and gravitational potential energy. So this is the typical equation that we're going to use. And remember, from last lesson, we have kinetic energy 1/2 mv squared, and we have gravitational potential energy given by PE. And by the way, this should say P subscript E, and so is this one, K subscript E, and that is mgh. Now, remember, both of these guys, they can be represented as work as well. Okay, work and energy, they are is interchangeable. And remember, work was the change in kinetic energy because work requires distance, that force as applied on an object. Okay, conservation of mechanical energy. If there is no friction, and if there is no air resistance, and if there is no outside work, this is when conservation of energy applies and it holds. Other than that, it does not hold. Just remember that. It has to follow these three conditions. So, and if we have that, the total potential and kinetic energy before and must be equal to the total potential and kinetic energy after. This value always constant. It will never change. Okay. Now let's go through 4 examples so that we know exactly what to do. Here is example 1. We have falling objects. A 2 kg ball is dropped from the height of 15 meters. Find the speed just before it hits the ground, assuming no air resistance. Okay, I wrote down a few things here on the left-hand side. At the top, obviously, before you release the ball, velocity is 0. That's your initial velocity, VI, which is equal to 0 meters per second. Okay, we do have the height, h, is equal to 15 meters. You can call that d as well for distance. And the question is, we want to know what the v final is. Okay, v final is, we're going to find out. Now, mass, we do know. Mass is 2.0 kg. The units are all in a standard units, SI units, which is great. Now, here is the thing. At the top, before you're releasing the ball, the total kinetic energy is 0. And it makes sense because it's not moving, right? Kinetic energy is the energy of a motion. So since it doesn't move, there's a 0, and you can actually plug it into a formula, 1/2 mv squared, and mv squared, V, is in here, V is 0 meters per second. So obviously the kinetic energy will be 0 at the top. Here we go. Now at the bottom, the object is still moving just before hitting the ground, right? So that means that the height will be 0. If you're looking at the potential, gravitational potential energy, mgh, when h is 0 meters, then the potential energy will be 0, and this is why the potential energy will be 0. But in total, the kinetic energy, potential energy before, because there is no kinetic energy before, is 0, and there's no potential energy after, that is 0. So this equation, potential energy initial must equal to the kinetic energy final, this equation must hold. So now we're going to go ahead and plug in values. And remember, in here, we have mgh for potential energy is equal to 1/2 mv squared. And for simplicity's sake, the masses, they just cancel. And our equation is gh is equal to 1/2 v squared. This is the equation we're going to use. Since we need to solve for the velocity just before hitting the ground, we're solving that equation for velocity, so v is equal to 2gh, and velocity is equal to, and then you have to take the square root of both sides, and in this case would be square root of 2gh. Okay, now we're going to plug numbers in. So here it is, I plug numbers in, and you'll get 17.1 meters per second. That would be the speed, the velocity just before hitting the ground. Okay, so that's the answer to that. Don't forget, whatever you get inside of this radical, you have to take the square root of it, and that's what you will get. Okay, look at the next question. Okay, so we have a ball is thrown upward at 220 meters per second. Find the maximum height reached. So who cares about the mass now? We don't care about the mass, but V initial is equal to 20 meters per second. We want to know what the height is at the end, how far up it goes. We do know G, which is 9.8 meters per second squared. And in this case, remember, it's going up. So we can start from the beginning. We can say that 1/2 mv squared, the kinetic energy initial, is equal to, at the very top, which will end up being the potential energy, which is mgh. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're doing kinetic energy initial because we are just moving upward, right? The ball is thrown upward at initial velocity of 20 meters per second. The final velocity, by the way, at the top, we've done this in kinematics, is 0 meters per second, right? The moment it gets to the top, as it's going up and up and up, the speed decreases at the rate of 9.8 meters per second squared. That's the acceleration due to gravity pulling it down. But at the top of that path, it stops. That means now you have a potential energy final. So the kinetic energy initial must equal to potential energy final, because both of those, one, the potential energy on the ground will be 0, and then the kinetic energy at the top will be 0. Okay, now again, mass, we don't care. We don't even need to have that. We're going to go ahead and now solve this equation. 1/2 v squared is equal to gh for h. So let's actually plug numbers in. So we have 1/2 v squared, which is, we have the initial velocity 20 meters per second, and then square that, that's equal to 9.8 meters per second squared times h. For simplicity's sake, we're going to remove the unit, and then we're going to put it back again. So h is equal to, that's 400, half of 400 is 200, and then you have to divide it by 9.8. Okay, so we're basically solving for h, isolate h. So that's what you're going to get, and the answer will be 20.4 meters. This is how high that ball will get if it starts at 20 meters per second. Okay, so again, we use the conservation of energy to solve this problem. Let's look at example 3. Here's example 3. Skateboarder starts from rest at the top of 5-meter ramp. This is the height is equal to 5.0 meter. What is the speed at the bottom? Again, we want to know what the V final is. Okay, and here it is. I'm going to start with the kinetic energy initial, because it says at rest, we know that the V initial is 0 meters per second. And if that's the case, obviously the kinetic energy initial will be 0 because not moving. At the bottom, once this skateboarder hits the bottom of the ramp, well, the distance, which is mgh, the height will be 0 meters. And if that's the case, there is no potential energy. And of course, because it's moving, is all kinetic energy. Let's write it up. So what we have the potential energy initial. So this is what we have. Potential energy initial at the top must equal to the kinetic energy final. And we're just going to go ahead and write up the equation. And again, you can do the mgh and then 1/2 mv squared. But get used to the fact that from now on, we don't really need the masses anymore. Okay, so this is the general equation. that we're going to use, 1/2 v squared. And the question is find the velocity at the bottom. So let's go ahead and plug numbers in and then get the velocity. So that's the first step. We plug numbers in. I just want to make sure that you do understand this is at the top of the 5-meter height of the ramp, 5-meter height ramp. Okay, so that's what that is. We plug numbers in and then we're just going to go ahead and solve for v squared. So multiply everything by 2 and then take the square root of it. So here it is. When you plug numbers in, you'll end up getting 9.9 meters per second at the bottom, on the bottom of the ramp as it's coming down. All right. So here it is. Make sure you know how to multiply, cross multiply the two values, and then inside the radicand, that is 10 times 9.8, it's almost 100, and then take the square root of it. Excellent. Let's look at the next question. So here is example 4. A roller coaster moves at 12 meters per second at a height of 8 meters. What will its speed be at ground level? And this is basically the original total conservation of energy, mechanical energy equation that we have, right? The total kinetic and potential energy initial must equal to the total kinetic and potential energy after. So let's write up what we do know. We do know that V initial is 12 meters per second. We know that the height is, and of course we do know G 9.8 meters per second squared. And the question is, what is the V final? Okay. Now in this case, we need to go ahead and figure out what is what. We have a roller coaster, so there is the initial velocity that's going and is at the height of 8 meters. So that means that there is not only a kinetic energy, but a potential energy as well. So the kinetic energy initial will be 1/2 mv squared, mvi squared, and then plus the potential energy will be mgh, and mgh is this 8 meters because you're at the height of 8 meters. But at the ground level, you're going to have only the kinetic energy, which is going to be based on the final velocity, because your potential energy will be 0 at the ground level, because at the ground level, H ground G is 0 meters. So there's no potential energy. But now we have basically 3 terms in terms of this energy equation. We're going to plug numbers in. We have everything except V final we're going to solve for, and that's basically it. Now, here we're going to do some mathematical gymnastic first. Can factor M out. So we'll get 1/2 VI squared plus GH is equal to 1/2 mv final squared. Here again, mass and mass, they divide. We don't care about the mass. They just cancel each other out. And then whatever we have, we're going to go ahead and do the math with the equation that we have left. Okay, so first thing, we're going to isolate the v final. We multiply this equation right here by 2. So we get 2 times 1/2, which be 1, that would be 1 times vi squared, and then plus 2 times gh, and that becomes a v final squared. We are manipulating this equation, okay? We are multiplying both sides of this equation by 2. So here, this is what we're doing, multiplying it by 2 on this side and multiplying it by 2 on this side, okay? And this 2 has to be multiplied through each term like that. That's why 2 times 1/2, it just gives you 1, okay? And then the other side, you're just going to get v final squared. Excellent. Let's go ahead, and now we have v final on its own, and then we have to take the square root of both sides and then plug numbers in. So here it is when you plug numbers in, and then last step is whatever you get, you take the square root of both sides. Okay, that's where you get your v final. So the v final is 17.3 meters per second. All right, that's the v final. This was a little bit trickier question, but we set it up again. Make sure you set up the equation, the conservation of energy equation all the time. Okay, again, the system before and system after. Total kinetic and potential before must be equal to the total kinetic and potential energy after. And when you set it up, you go ahead and solve for the variable in question. All right, now let's put them all together. Okay, common mistakes to avoid. Okay, you want to avoid these things. The very first thing is that most students, they forget that when they solve for v with the velocity, they forget that's v squared. All right, you have to take the square root of that to get the final velocity or initial velocity for that matter, depending on what the question is. The next one, make sure that you don't mix up the initial and final values. You write them all up. Okay, these are all given, but you do have to systematically write them down and making sure that there is a before and after. All right, and then of course the units, make sure you include the units, especially at the very end, but you do want to include the units in your calculation as well. And then remember that at ground level, usually the set reference height is 0 unless there's something else, and that means the PE, the potential energy, is 0 joule. That's what that is. All right, make sure to take the quiz in the description and come back for the next video in this series. Okay, until next time.